It's January 2010, and I'm in the backseat of a limo, racing down the Vegas Strip with Eric Tang, then lead product manager of Android at Google. He'd just launched the Nexus One, and he was interrogating us tech nerds about every little feature with both passion and precision. Flash forward to May of the same year, and I'm reading that Tang has left Android and Google for Facebook, and excited to start innovating at the intersection of mobile and social. But the rumors, they're already spreading like shadow profiles across the web, and everyone in tech is whispering about it. Facebook is building a phone. Now, this week, Roming Pang, the distinguished engineer who ran foundation models for Apple's AI teams, has been poached by, you guessed it, Facebook. And it's just one of oh so many brainiacs that Facebook's been assimilating over the past few months. And this time there are precisely zero rumors needed. Facebook has fully rejoined the AI arms race, what they're calling superintelligence, which means they're coming straight for Apple's heart and dominance of the next big thing after mobile, AI augmented reality. So can Facebook win at AI and AR when they didn't even really try at mobile? And conversely, inversely, perversely, can Apple? I do have one answer for maybe why yes and one for maybe why no. And they both involve the differences between Apple, Google, and Facebook. And commitment. See, Steve Jobs thought his cell phone sucked, but if they continued to converge with music players, could become an existential threat to Apple's iPod business. So he decided to cannibalize it first with the iPhone. Larry Page knew Google owned desktop search, but saw a different existential threat, that the rise of mobile and the potential for walled gardens meant that they could be locked out. So he decided to buy Android and ultimately fork Apple's WebKit into Blink and Chrome. Mark Zuckerberg might have seen a similar threat or opportunity, a threat-opportunity at Facebook, which might explain poaching Eric Tang. But also, Apple nerds all know the stories about Steve Jobs taking people for long walks and making pitches like, do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life, or do you want to come with me and change the world? Well, rumor has it, Mark emulated similar walks, pitching Facebook as the next big place to change the world. And not just to Tang, but for once and former Apple legends as well, like Richard Williamson, third member of the original Safari team, who forked Conqueror into WebKit to begin with, and then worked on Apple Maps after Apple split from Google there. And Mike Mattis, the former Delicious designer who worked on the original iPhone and iPad interfaces for camera and photos. And for the deep nerds, the rumors got even wilder. Facebook wasn't just building a phone, but a browser, maps, a whole interface layer, if not a fully custom OS. But then time went on and nothing. More time and more nothing. Or like just chat heads, the HTC Cha-Cha and First, and more nothing. No phone, no browser, no maps, just chat heads. Maybe they never got to a prototype Mark liked. Maybe he thought Facebook could become like WeChat and abstract away the platform's both app and web, but who knows? Either way, anyway, Facebook was just not committed to shipping any of those things, which meant when app tracking transparency from Apple became a thing, it was like a tie kick, like a wild boar hit. Facebook had zero resiliency, just utter dependency. And this from the company, the person who spent $1 billion on Instagram and well over $10 billion on WhatsApp to prevent them from just pulling attention from Facebook, which is why Facebook also paid $2 billion for Oculus to finally get into hardware and Android-based but whatever operating systems, and as a bet for that being what comes after the phone and maybe before full-on implants. It's also why metaverse side quests notwithstanding, Facebook is try-harding so damn hard with superintelligence and the AI glasses with Ray-Bans and now Oakley to become the winner, sure, but also not to be a loser against OpenAI, who's still riding the ChatGPT high and is working with Johnny Ive on not just a smart pendant orb thing, but a family of devices. It's almost certainly going to include glasses at some point. And Google with both Gemini and recently shown off glasses of their own. And Apple with Vision OS and Vision Pro, but currently unclear, maybe rebooted, maybe outsourced, at least for now, an AI future. So yes, Facebook has the Oculus and post-Oculus AR hardware, and they're spending like their future lives depend on it for the superintelligence AI talent. And it looks like they found the Kaiser-Soze level of commitment needed to actually ship. It just remains to be seen if their modular product strategy and social-based business model lets them ultimately ship something anything insanely great. And while Apple has spent decades proving they can do just that, from the iMac to iPod to iPhone to iPad to AirPods to watch, and in a fully end-to-end integrated high-margin way, it's totally unclear if they themselves still have that level of commitment and the requisite AI talent or tech to cover both of those ends, or if they really will outsource more than their models and end up the opposite of Facebook, like WeChat on Hulk Serum, not just an app running on someone else's platform, but just a platform running someone else's intelligence. And my guess is, and it's just a guess, is that Apple has finally realized that a decade of being managed up has decimated Siri and their AI efforts. And if outsourcing a convenient AI pipe is stopgap enough for now, while they start seriously managing multiple layers down on a competitive Siri Next to just swap back in, then they have every chance in the world of not losing and becoming, maybe again, at least one of the winners.